Canada, I've got to make an apology here, guys. You do exist. You are a very important country. There is a lot of people in Canada. In fact, I believe you're the second biggest country in the world. I should be talking about Canada more often. I apologize, Canada. You guys are relevant, and you're now more relevant than ever. Canadians are buying EVs at record-breaking pace. This is, well, for me, fantastic news. Congratulations, guys. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. And if you'd like to become a member of the channel, I'll put a link in the description below. You can click on that link and become a member. In most parts of the world, demand for electric vehicles has been growing. However, automakers like Ford and others, well, they say that incentives are still needed in order to get enough demand for their electric car sales in North America, in Canada, in America. It's an interesting topic because, as you know, Donald Trump is considering removing the EV incentive. Well, it sounds like he's already decided that that's going to be happening. That could affect US EV sales significantly. However, in Canada, car shoppers are taking full advantage of EV incentives at this point in time. Automotive News Canada says that 23,713 new car buyers in Canada took advantage of their incentives for zero-emission vehicles in November. So 23,700 electric cars, fully electric cars, were sold in Canada in November. That's just about the same number as October. October was also 23,923. So that means that there's been probably around about 220,000 electric car sales in Canada this year. Part of the reason for that is, aside from the fact that an electric car is going to save you a lot of money, much better to drive than an internal combustion car, they're the future, blah, blah, blah. You guys know I love EVs, but aside from that, you get a $5,000 rebate on fully electric vehicles, while the ones that qualify, plus plug-in hybrids, they also get a rebate if that plug-in hybrid has more than 49 kilometers of EV-only range. But plug-in hybrids get a smaller rebate of $2,500. There are some additional criteria though. Those include pricing. Passenger cars must start out at less than $55,000 to qualify. That's Canadian dollars. Though some variants are eligible with costs of up to $65,000. So that depends. Pickups, SUVs, and minivans have to have a starting price below $60,000. Higher cost models can have MSRPs of less than $70,000. In terms of the top brands that customers are buying, of course, as you can imagine, Tesla is first, but not by the kind of margin that Tesla has in the United States. Tesla sold 37,721, well, actually that's with rebates. Hyundai was next with 25,656, followed by Toyota with 22,000. Toyota? What? I don't understand those numbers. Maybe that's plug-in hybrids. It must be. Ford, 19,000. Chevrolet, 18,800. That's the top 5 year to date. So far this year, that's how many vehicles Tesla have sold. That's from January to November. January to November, Tesla, 37,700. And Hyundai, 25,600. Like I said, Toyota's numbers must include plug-in hybrids because they only have one model of EV, and I'm pretty sure it's not a great seller because it's not a very good car. This surge in interest is partly due to the fact that as of now, the incentives for zero-emission vehicles program in Canada will expire by March 2025. Unless it's renewed. I hope it's renewed. It should be renewed. It makes sense to renew it. Since launching in 2019, the program has applied to the purchase of more than 500,000 EVs and plug-in hybrids. Canadians, that means you're buying more EVs than ever before. So what are the percentages here, guys? Well, in the third quarter of 2024, so the 3 months, in July, August, and September, 1 in 6 new vehicles sold, 1 in 6 was fully electric. So that meant market share was 16.5%. That's up from 13.4% the previous year. That's a pretty good number, 16.5%. Guys, Canadians, I'm happy with that. Well done. That's a pretty good number, 16.5%. That means that, as you can see, it appears Canadians are buying EVs more frequently than people living in the United States. Now, if EVs were so tough to deal with in cold climates, as some people claim, they're impossible to have EVs in cold climates, why are Canadians buying so many of them? Right? Surely they'd be smarter than that, wouldn't they? Yeah, obviously EVs are not a problem in cold climates. EV volume increased by 14.4%. As you can see from this chart here, the market percentage of electric car sales in Canada is continuing to grow. I do think, though, EVs are a little bit more expensive in Canada than internal combustion vehicles. Once that changes, which it will over the next few years, I think Canadian EV sales will skyrocket. We're just looking at the beginning here. This is the beginning. We've just gotten past the tipping point in Canada, but it really is going to take probably, I'd estimate, 2 years for the price of EVs to be where they should be, which is lower than internal combustion engine vehicles. One of the problems for adoption in Canada is the fact that Canada is blocking Chinese electric cars, basically making it as hard as it is to sell them in the US. So it's going to be really difficult. You guys won't be able to get affordable vehicles from BYD, from Geely, from Zeekr, from many different car manufacturers, from XPeng. You guys are sadly going to miss out. And that's really largely, unfortunately, due to politics. Thanks for watching. Electric car sales in the United Kingdom have suddenly skyrocketed by a staggering 58%. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. A lot of excitement around electric cars right now in the UK. Honestly, you guys pay too much for cars in the UK. It's sort of ridiculous, the taxes that you guys have on them. It feels like some sort of like African country. Like, I know that in Africa there's some huge tariffs on vehicles and products in general. They're super expensive. Many years ago, I actually tried to give away some bicycles to some people in Africa, some good road bicycles to people who are trying to start their own racing team. I had a bicycling company, some carbon frame bicycles, really, really good ones. And I wasn't able to do it because the tariffs were just astronomical. It was like 200% tariffs. It was ridiculous. Now, you guys don't have anything like that in the UK, but you do pay more for EVs than we do in Australia. You pay more for EVs than people do in Europe. You pay more for them than what people pay for them in the United States. There's almost no question about that, right? Maybe you guys should say something to the government about that. I think that's just whacked. Anyhow, new battery electric vehicle sales in the UK rose 58% in November. That's the 11th straight month of growth. And yet, Stellantis is still complaining about EV mandates in the UK, which require manufacturers next year, require them 22% of their sales should be electric in 2025. That's what they're requiring in the UK. I don't think it's that hard of a number considering this staggering growth of EV sales, 11 straight months in a row of EV sales in the UK.